from the only station working for you. This is RTV6 Good Morning Indiana.
Very clearly, even in my dreams, this could not be true. But to hell with dreams. I'm done with it because this is true.
Now at 5, no, it was not a dream. Hollywood's biggest night comes to a dramatic finish. We break down the mix-up during the Best Picture Award and show you the top moments you'll be talking about this morning.
A new Indy transit plan is moving right along. The big hurdle it needs cleared tonight, plus the impact it will have on drivers and how it will affect your wallet.
Good morning and welcome in. It's a Monday, back to work and school, and we have you covered this morning.
That's right. Lori Casey is tracking that morning commute. We'll get to her in just a minute. But we start here with meteorologist Ashley Brown and what is going to be an up and down week when it comes to the weather.
This is not a joke. Moonlight has won Best Picture. Moonlight, Best Picture.
This morning, one moment from the Oscars is dominating the conversation, the Best Picture Award blunder, and the question remains about how exactly this could happen on Hollywood's biggest night. The crew of La La Land was nearly done with their acceptance speeches for Best Picture when they said Moonlight had actually won Best Picture. Warren Beatty explained that he had been handed a duplicate award envelope for Best Actress. Well, in the end, both crews handled that awkward moment in stride, and Moonlight is the one that walked away with the hardware.
Everybody had grace in that moment, thankfully. As for the planned surprise here, Oscars host Jimmy Kimmel brought a Hollywood tour group right into the ceremony. And take a look. They had no idea what they were getting into here. Kimmel brought the tourists right up to the front row of the Dolby Theater, coordinating with a meet and greet with several famous actors. The actor Denzel Washington even officiated a wedding between two of them. The tourists even got to touch an Oscar as they made their way out.
Pretty exciting stuff there. Our Oscars coverage is just getting started here on Good Morning Indiana. Throughout the morning, we'll be showing you all of those moments from the big show everyone is talking about this morning. Also coming up, we have your chance to win a movie-themed night on the town. And finally, Good Morning America will pick up the coverage at 7 o'clock. They'll have reaction from all the winners and losers and a breakdown of exactly what went wrong during the Best Picture announcement.
At 5:03 now, breaking overnight, Metro Police arrest a man they say was making threats at an LGBT-friendly bar downtown called Alley's in downtown Indianapolis. It happened around 11:30 Sunday night. A witness tells RTV6 the man sat down at the bar and made references to the Orlando nightclub shooting, saying, quote, "It's about to happen again." Officers spoke to several other witnesses at the bar who confirmed the man's threat. Police say the man was not armed. People at the bar said they were glad police worked quickly and cared about everyone's safety.
Being a member of the LGBTQ community can be a very scary thing. And tonight there was a moment where many of us in the bar felt unsafe. And the city of Indianapolis showed that our safety is a priority. And it gave me a lot of hope.
Police say the man will likely be preliminarily charged with attempted robbery and will be evaluated for mental illness. Detectives are still investigating.
Happening tonight, a vote that could change the way a lot of people get around Indianapolis. The City County Council is deciding whether to move ahead with a much-debated transit tax. RTV6's Ann Kelly is live outside the city's Indigo Transit Center downtown. Now, Ann, if this passes, big changes are on the way for the city's bus system all around.
That's right, Mark, with construction of a rapid transit bus line, a bus line that will go down College Avenue from Broad Ripple all the way through to this transit center and then further south to the University of Indianapolis. Now, the red line construction could start as early as this summer, would be a first line of 3 built. Now, these are bus lines that would run more often, have fewer stops, and be given their own center lane in the street. A huge convenience for some, but also a huge cost, with the local income tax rate rising for everyone in Marion County if this goes ahead. Starting in October, a person making $40,000 a year, for example, will be paying about $100 more a year in taxes. It's a plan voters approved in November, and now the City County Council tells us if it agrees, if this is the right future for Indianapolis. 7 p.m., the meeting about what will happen here, happening right across the street here at the City County Council building. For now, reporting live downtown Ann Kelly, RTV6.
And thank you. We are talking with officers in hopes of learning more about a deadly shooting on the east side. Police are searching for the gunman who killed a 17-year-old near East 10th and North Gray Street. Police haven't released the victim's name. No word yet on a possible suspect or what led up to the violence. Officers are also going through evidence to learn more about a deadly crash on the southwest side. A woman was killed after a car hit her as she tried to cross the street. It happened near Kentucky Avenue and Holt Road. Metro Police say the woman driving the vehicle that hit the victim stopped and is cooperating with officers. Police say a second vehicle likely hit the victim and then drove off. Police say it was a maroon SUV, likely with damage.
Happening today, we could learn if a judge will accept a plea deal in the murder of a 1-year-old girl. Kyle Parker is pleading guilty to murder and kidnapping charges in connection with the death of Shaylin Ammerman. Parker, a family friend of Ammerman, is set to have a change of plea hearing tomorrow. Ammerman went missing from her father's home in Spencer in 2016. Her body was found more than a day later. If the judge accepts the deal, Parker could be sentenced to 60 years in prison.
Covering education, state leaders are taking steps to get rid of I-STEP. But as that happens, students this morning will begin to take the test itself. Lawmakers are working to move on from the much maligned and controversial system. It could still be 2 years before a new test, currently called I-Learn, would be in place. This new plan hasn't cleared its final hurdle yet. At 5:07 now, the future is in our children, but a new report shows Hoosier kids are not thriving, just merely getting by. Good morning, Indiana's Amanda Starantino is live in our newsroom with a look at where these numbers come from. Amanda.
Good morning, Beth. Well, the data comes from the Indiana Youth Institute Kids Count for 2017 and focused on topics of dating, violence, suicide, abuse, and poverty. And the numbers fell short for Hoosier children. Take a look at this. More than half of the kids removed by Indiana's Department of Child Services last year were removed because of parental substance abuse. And it has been on a steady incline for the past 6 years. Just in 2015, 17 out of every 1,000 Indiana kids were victims of abuse or neglect. And on top of that, 1 in 5 children lives in poverty, half of those living in single mother households, making a very difficult situation for a lot of kids in the state. Now, the state's data book on the kids count is from data collected by the Indiana Youth Institute. It takes information from hundreds of national and statewide sources. There is some good news in this report, though. Compared to last year, this report shows more teens are in school or working, and more full-time college students are earning their degrees. Live in the newsroom, Amanda Starantino, RTV6.
Democrats have a new man leading the party, but if it didn't take long for Tom Perez and President Trump to get into a war of words.
This boy is reeling in the big one, but something is about to ruin his day. Coming up, the surprise ending that you won't see coming.